In the first case we will hear this afternoon, it concerns the death of Mrs. Chavez and a runaway trolley. The defendant, Mr. Ryan Fuller, stands accused of murder by the spouse of the deceased. Plaintiff, please begin by stating your case.
Judge Judy, I'm here today to sue the defendant because he's responsible for my wife's death by choosing to pull the lever that changed the course of the trolley, Your Honor.
It says here that changing the course of the trolley resulted in 5 people's lives being saved. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am, this is true. However, moral justification cannot be applied here, and he did not have the right to play God and choose which people should die. Now that this has happened, ma'am, I have lost my high school sweetheart, my wife, my life.
Oh, geez. Are you okay to continue?
I feel depressed and lonely going through this situation, Your Honor. I have no idea how I will overcome this event. I haven't been able to eat. I haven't been able to sleep. I haven't been able to live a happy life. His actions were not moral. And now my love paid the consequences. She's dead.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Mr. Chavez. But yes, you are right. A higher purpose cannot be used to justify immoral behavior. Defendant, please tell the court your side of the story.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak, Your Honor. The day of the trolley incident started like any other. I was on my way to the station, headed up to SDSU. I was coming across a bridge, and that's when I noticed the car was out of control.
Proceed.
So as I was saying, I was coming across the tracks, and that's when I recognized some screams coming from farther up the railway. And I realized that after looking around that the trolley was completely out of control.
How was it out of control?
It was very clearly out of control. The trolley conductor was screaming, and it was obviously not going to stop.
Okay, so you see this train, and it looks like a bat out of hell. What happened next?
So after that, I looked around to try and figure out what was going on. And I noticed that there was a family of 5 on the tracks ahead. And then to the second set of tracks to the left, there was an individual woman by herself.
Why in the world are so many people standing on the track that day? So what did you do next?
Well, Your Honor, I made a quick judgment to pull the lever from the operating station and move the trolley from the first set of tracks to the second set of tracks.
The set of tracks where my wife was on.
It seems to me that you had a choice between letting the trolley continue toward the family on the tracks or pull the lever to change the course towards Mrs. Chavez, who was on a different set of tracks.
Yes, that is correct. There was an operating room nearby, so I reached over and I pulled the lever and I changed the course of the track.
Mr. Fuller, if you knew that this was the situation, why did you choose to pull the lever anyways?
My moral reasoning, or the thought process that I used to make this decision, was based in utilitarianism. You never know who these 5 kids and this family, who they could have been. They could grow up to be firefighters or cure cancer. So I chose to save the family of 5 to cause...
No. Let's get this straight. You did not save the family. You sacrificed Mrs. Chavez's life because you felt you had the right to make that decision. Are you saying that your actions did not contribute to a higher purpose or add up intentions of playing God?
No, they did not. I have no motivation based in being godly or an ego big enough to think that I can make those kinds of decisions.
Who cares if he did not intend to kill my wife? He did, and that's all that matters. She's gone now. Ask yourself, what if I had been in your situation where someone else was pulling the lever and killed your wife? How would you feel in that case? As the golden rule states, treat others the way you would like to be treated.
That kind of thinking is care-based thinking, and it's an important part of our society. What do you think of this, Mr. Fuller?
It is also important to consider 2 other principles that Kidder talked about. That's the ends-based thinking and rule-based thinking. Both of these theories or types of thought are going to remove emotion from the situation and are going to focus on universalism and doing the most good for the most people.
You both raise important principles to consider, but ultimately the decision is based on the dual process theory. Are you familiar with this theory, Mr. Chavez?
No, Judge. I'm not familiar with this term. Would you please explain it to me?
It states that decisions of rights and duties are made by emotional judgment, and utilitarian issues are made by cognitive judgment. Because the defendant was an innocent bystander with no prejudice or bias toward any of the parties on the track, he made a cognitive decision for the betterment of society. Now, we are all very, very sorry about your loss, Mr. Chavez. However, I'm ruling in favor of the defendant. Case dismissed.
Well, it's never a good situation when we have to come together over somebody being injured, or in this situation, somebody passing away. Of course, it's a sad day, but it is a relief to be, not guilty and to have these charges dropped. We were really just trying to have the best outcome from a bad situation. So we're glad that we were able to help that family, but my deepest condolences to Mr. Chavez.
I can't believe this. I'm not coming back to Judge Judy ever again. I mean, my wife died, she's dead, and he was not found guilty? I mean, come on now. I can't believe that he's innocent. What's going on?
Our next case is against Ms. Bubel, the founder of Cliff Bar. The plaintiff is an employee at Cliff Bar and is bringing Ms. Bubel to court today because he says that she does not have the character of a leader. Plaintiff, please state your case.
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because Ms. Bubel told us that she's going to cut the perks that she has been providing to us, the employees, for years.
What perks are you referring to?
She has been providing full-service gyms and fitness programs, paid time off, chiropractic services, massages, home loans, and childcare.
Oh my, these perks sound like a sweet deal. And you're saying that she's threatening to take these comforts away?
It is a sweet deal. In fact, it's a major reason why I choose to work with Ms. Bubel.
And now she's taking it away from you?
Well, I had to.
You'll get your chance to explain yourself, Ms. Bubel. Go on, answer the question. Is she taking these benefits away from you?
Yes, we work hard, and we have gotten used to this type of treatment. If Ms. Bubel is such a moral person, as she claims to be, she shouldn't have taken away this from us.
Well, morals are subjective and often based on values. What do you mean by a moral person?
Well, when it comes to being a leader, a moral person is seen as a principled decision maker who cares about people and the broader society.
Let me get this straight. You're arguing that the repeal of the aforementioned benefits is indicative of Ms. Bubel not caring about people and the broader society?
Yes, furthermore, a moral manager makes ethics an explicit part of their leadership agenda.
Whoa. You're saying that just because you get a rub down after work, that means her leadership is not built on ethics?
Yes, Your Honor, she clearly isn't being ethical by taking away her perks, and she clearly doesn't care about us.
Well, aren't we entitled? Please explain your side of the case, Ms. Bubel.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that this employee is being extremely unreasonable. I try to lead altruistically, but I also have a business to run.
Are you implying that it's impossible to do both?
What I'm saying is I understand that my employees work hard and they appreciate the services that Cliff Bar offers them for free. But as the company grows, I have to balance business with my values.
And what exactly are your values?
You see, Your Honor, I founded Cliff Bar with the idea that I would be an authentic leader and I would maintain consistency among all my values, beliefs, and actions, and that's how I chose to run my business. An example of my character as an authentic leader is when I turned down a $100 million offer for my company in order to maintain my values and keep the vision that I had for the company.
So, you believe you're continuing to show this moral side of your character while running Cliff Bar?
I do. I continue to act as a moral person in my decision to use my company to give back to my employees and also give back to the environment.
And how exactly do you give back to your employees and the environment?
Well, Your Honor, I launched a social project called the 2080 program, where I allow employees to use volunteer hours in place of work hours. So essentially, I pay my employees to volunteer in order to benefit the community and society as a whole. I also make sure that I protect the environment as much as possible.
Wow. Sure seems like you care about not only people, but society as well.
I do, Your Honor. I still believe that my character reflects an honest, open, and fair person. I see myself as an ethical leader and a moral manager as well, and that's how I run my business.
That's nice, but the plaintiff is saying you're taking away all these great services you claim to be giving back to your employees. This doesn't reflect the character of a leader, now does it?
To be fair, I'm not taking away all of the perks from my employees. I'm currently facing somewhat of an ethical dilemma here. While trying to maintain the health and happiness of my employees by providing gyms, home loans, personal trainers, etc., The company is growing larger and larger with more and more employees.
Sounds like you're facing an ethical dilemma of individual versus community. What might benefit the individuals, such as gyms or paid time off, might not be good for the company as a whole in terms of business or making a profit for the shareholders.
That's correct.
So why did you even offer these services in the first place? It sounds like you wrote a check you couldn't even cash.
I tried to provide my employees the best as I could. You see, I initially implemented these employee benefits when the company was much smaller. But now that I have over 130 employees, I'm trying to balance the costs. I'm even using rule-based thinking to solve this issue because if I allow the current employees to enjoy the perks, then I would have to allow everyone else that I hire to take advantage of these perks. I'm simply cutting a few of the more expensive perks.
But I need my personal trainer. I've been working on my body and I don't want to lose my gains.
I don't think you need a gym membership, let alone a personal trainer. You're acting like a diva.
But I need the home loans. I was going to buy a house near the beach.
Well, I guess it sounds like you'll have to find a place that is a little bit more affordable. Possibly one that isn't beachfront property.
But I need those perks. I am a person with refined taste and I cannot dream of living a life of a plebeian.
You make me sick. You need to learn to live within your means more. The more I hear out of you, the more you sound like a spoiled little brat.
But that's not fair.
That's it. I've had enough of your whining.
Sorry.
Well, Ms. Bubel, it sounds like you are using your moral character to make the best, most fair decision that you can. And you, plaintiff, I think you are not realizing the implications of this case. Ms. Bubel has to make decisions so that the company can continue to grow. By doing so, she's taking all of society into account. It is a clear-cut ethical dilemma that Ms. Bubel handled morally. I'm ruling in favor of the defendant, plaintiff. You're getting way more benefits than most employees get at their jobs. Count your blessings and don't be greedy. Case dismissed.
I think the case went really well. I'm really pleased. I think that the plaintiff was being pretty unreasonable, but I'm just gonna take
That's not fair. I should have won the case. I cannot even get a gym membership. I cannot even get a home loan. I don't even a massage. Like, I don't even know why I'm working for you. I quit.
Now on to the final case of this afternoon. The plaintiff is a coach who is suing the defendant for being responsible for the loss of their championship game.
Plaintiff, please tell the court about yourself.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Karina, and I'm a softball coach at SDSU. I took over this position in 2006, and I have led the Aztecs to a school record of 5 national championships ever since. I think it's obvious that I take my job seriously. I mean, come on, look at my results.
Wow, someone is being a little conceited. It sounds to me like your team is doing very well. So what does it take to be a good coach?
To be a good coach, you have to be a good leader. And to be a good leader, you have to have authentic leadership. And that's something that I have.
Well. Coach Karina, since you seem to know so much, can you define authentic leadership for me, please?
Authentic leaders have strong ethical conviction that guide their behavior, not so much to avoid doing wrong things as to always try to do the right things, such as treating others with respect and dignity.
And you believe your actions throughout your coaching career have been of high moral principles?
Yes, I do. I always try to meet the highest ethical and moral principles I have set for myself. I behave on personal convictions, and I try to build trust and commitment with my team.
So why are you here today?
Your Honor, I'm here today to discuss the non-fulfillment of an obligation Jenny has broken by refusing to participate in the most critical game this season. Because of this, it caused us to lose our championship game and the title of being World Series champs.
What kind of responsibility are you talking about?
Jenny is our best pitcher. She was expected to partake in this game since her contribution to the team is extremely vital.
So you're telling me that you believe she was the sole reason you guys lost this game?
Yes, actually I do. Every member adds value to the team. Each player is important and contributes to the team in an important way.
Why don't you just use another pitcher if you're saying every player is just as important?
I mean, yes, I did use another player, but they lacked the same form of aptitude. I dedicate so much time and effort to Jenny because she's our star player, and she decided not to play the game. That's why I was so disappointed.
Well, it sounds to me like you're to blame for that. Maybe if you showed the same kind of coaching to the rest of your team, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
But Your Honor.
Moving on. Defendant, introduce yourself.
Hi, Your Honor. My name is Jenny and I'm a pitcher at SDSU. I've played softball all my life and have dedicated a lot of my time to the sport. However, when I'm not playing sports, I am highly involved with my church. I come from a very religious family and I take pride in that.
Do you understand why you were brought here today?
Yes, I do. And I feel like I was treated unfairly and my values were being scrutinized.
Explain to us why you chose to withdraw yourself from the game.
I chose to not participate in this game because it interfered with my religious values. I have deep religious convictions that I've made a commitment to.
You made a commitment to our team too.
What kind of convictions are you referring to?
My religion prevents me from ever playing on a Sunday morning. Sundays are my worship days. It is the pinnacle of the Christian life because in it, God's people meet with God himself. We refrain from engaging in any type of work that are intended for the other 6 days of the week.
Wow, you got some intense values there. So that's when the game was going on?
Yes, unfortunately that was the day and time the game happened to fall upon.
So if you knew there was a chance that playing for this team would conflict with your religious values, then why did you sign up to be a part of the team in the first place?
That's what I'm saying.
Karina, can you please stop interrupting and let Jenny tell her side of the story?
I love playing softball. Would you want to give us something you love? I've committed to this team to the best of my ability and play every day except for Sundays. I've even told the coach of my values. She had knowledge of it from the very start. If the coach talks so highly on being an authentic leader, then why weren't my values being considered?
Is this true, plaintiff? Did you have knowledge of this?
Yes. However, she shouldn't have made an exception just this once. I mean, come on. It wasn't just any game. No. This was the final game.
So you weren't capable of making any sort of exception?
Even though this was the most important game this season, I can't allow myself to make exceptions. As tempting as it might be to make an exception just this once, I've chosen to commit to what I stand for and draw the line there. I cherish my values and principles fully.
What values are you referring to?
Values represent constructs that are considered important to the individual. And to me, I value my religious values. It is my priority. It was an intrinsic problem to play softball that morning because it clashed with my schedule.
So you're saying you had a sense of responsibility to yourself to abide to these values?
Yes, Your Honor. This is my commitment to myself. It has always been and will always be what I believe in. I've never sundered from it.
Going back to what you said about being an authentic leader, plaintiff, it sounds like you contradicted yourself when you said you try to do the right thing by giving people respect. It sounds like your players aren't being heard. Your main objective was to attain rewards and advantages instead. An important role authentic leaders have is to put other values into consideration. So, after much thought, I have come to a conclusion. I am ruling in favor of the defendant. It is apparent that Jenny was acting on moral ownership and had the responsibility to abide to her own values. She was right to commit to what she believes in and not allow influence from others to interfere with her ethical nature. Karina, please show some consideration next time. Case dismissed.
I mean, I'm pretty glad I won. I love softball, I love church. Now I can do both. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is what the coach gets for making us do so many laps. In your face, coach.
Obviously, I don't agree with Judge Judy. I'm a good coach. I'm the best coach ever. And now the whole team's gonna pay for this one.